thank you, Steve. Thank you, everyone. Match that speech now, huh? Okay, before I start, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight, for all my friends that came to support me. It's really, really nice to see all these familiar faces. And congratulations, Steve. There you are. It's great to have you here with me tonight, especially, and all these familiar faces from the men's soccer team as well. It's very, very nice memories that we all have together as an AU athletic family. I want to thank the athletic department as well as the university. The AU athletic department always made us feel very, very welcome, and I think we always felt like we were part of a big family, and not just field hockey on one side, but we would go and support the men's soccer team and the women's basketball, and even go to swim meets and men's basketball games. I mean, we were always here, and I always found myself, after a TDR or after a class that I would go to, I always find myself, sorry. I always wander around, and I always ended up back here at Bender. I mean, I didn't know where I was going, and all of a sudden I was there. And even if I went to the coach's office, and even if it was my coach, I would go to the women's basketball coach's office and just hang out, or just go and see if there were any practices going around. I really, really enjoyed being a part of a family, of the athletic department family. And, they always took care of us, and they made us feel like we were protected. And I know my friends will know while I say this, but I can't believe I'm going to say this, but thank you for those study hall hours that we all had to put in. Looking back at it, we know that you took care of us, and it made us focus into the studies as well, because if it was for me, I would probably stay out on the field all day long and just practicing. Sometimes my coaches had to make me, okay, stop, it's time to go. The goalkeeper has been there for like 2 hours, and you keep on hitting ball after ball, to her. So thank you for that. And as Steve said before, I am very competitive. My husband can tell you that. I've been played against him on like an exhibition game, and it wasn't nice. I had to take the ball from him, so I fouled him. It was an exhibition game, men's against women's national team with all little girls around. But sorry, we still remember it up until this day. And as I am very competitive, I know the AU athletic department program was like that as well, and I saw it in every other athlete that are here today and those who are not here. And the great thing was that our coaches always let us, and they let us believe, and they let us try out for more. As Steve said, he was always pushing us, and I think it's important for an athlete to be skillful, to have a little bit of luck, to train hard, and always to have that willpower to do something else, to want more. And I had that, but also I think most student athletes here had it too, because from the department itself, they always, made us try and go for more. I want to read something. It's a little bit short. It's a poem that I wrote a few years ago, and I think I sent it to Steve once when they went into the NCAA tournament. And I think it sort of describes, and I think most of you can relate to what I'm about to read. It's called Willpower. How do you know that's as far as you can get when you've quit on your first try? How do you know that's as high as you can climb when there's still a step above? How do you know you've taken your best shot when you've got one more shot to take? All the strength you have comes from within, for it begins with the mind and it works its way down. For all the times you think you've done your best, there is always one more attempt to be made, one more mile to run, and one more step to climb. For if it doesn't come from you, it won't come from anyone else. And if you don't take the plunge, someone else will. And that someone will do better, will run further, will climb higher, and will shoot better. And that's the time you'll say to yourself, was that really my best? Was that really, did I really give it all I had? Why didn't I try harder? Why couldn't I do better? Who said I had reached my limit? And what is my limit anyway? And that's when you should look deep down inside and be true to yourself. And the answer you find will have no one to blame but you and no one to praise but you. And going back into now I have a little story. You know how Steve said that we had to go into Maryland and Georgetown to practice for, penalty corners and practice because we didn't have a turf field? I have a little secret that I think now after more than 10 years it's okay for me to share. Sorry, Steve. Our desire of the team, I read this poem because we did have that desire to win and to do better. And we realized that in order to improve and to go places and to win games, we had to train more. And we were preparing for the CAA tournament once, and we wanted to practice the penalty corners even more. And so we decided we had to go to Maryland and to Georgetown. But when the school made all the attempts, we couldn't get the turf field because, I don't know, it was schedule times, something that it wasn't compatible for us to go. So we decided, a few of us, the people involved in the penalty corners, that we were going to practice on Georgetown field. So what we did is we took some cars and we drove down to Georgetown at 6 o'clock in the morning when there was no one around, and we just climbed the fences and sneak into the field. And we went out to practice until we saw someone, and for a few minutes, 45 minutes, and then we just climb back the fence back and come back to school as if nothing had happened. So, okay, and just to round up, sorry if I was a little bit too long, I wanted to thank especially my family who came with me here today. I know my husband had to work a lot of hours, long hours, in order to get the days off and come all the way from here. And my daughters for being here, and I know they're tired and they want to go home, but it's very special for me to have them here with me, and they've always been very supportive, my husband. Thank you all for being here, and it's very, very special night for me. And being inducted into the Hall of Fame, it's something that, I would walk into Bender Arena and look at those portraits and look in awe, saying, wow, look at those people. They must have been great. I wish I could be there someday. Never thinking that I would actually ever accomplish it. So now for me being here, I'm very flattered and honored, and I hope I can, live up to it. So thank you very much.